Hi everyone, this is Felicia Jones from KeepUpWithMrsJones.com, and this is episode number 2 of Stop Being So Damn Broke. My goal is to help you not be broke and to live your ultimate lifestyle. I am the host of this show. Like I said, I am Felicia Jones. I am a financial lifestyle coach, but I also love to call myself a master budgetologist. Yes, I can take your budget and flip it 5 different ways at least. So I am anal when it comes to budgeting, and it's something that I actually love to do. And after I ran out of budgeting my own finances and my husband's, I have to find somebody else's budget. So I'm calling out to you to let me help you with your budgets. So I want to thank you again today for being here this evening. I have to remember that. And tonight's show, we're going to talk about the unemployed go shopping, the real cost of buying the brand new iPhone 6, and how debt is an emergency. And the 3 in 3, your 3 money tips in 3 minutes, will cover how to conquer your debt. Yes, we want to annihilate it and kick it out of the way because debt is a dream killer. So that's what we're going to cover today, and we're just going to get started. Again, it's Sunday night. It's 9 p.m. here in the Mile High City. The Denver Broncos did lose today to the Seattle Seahawks, and if you are watching this later sometime in the future, no, this is not the Super Bowl. They just lost again this year for the second time to the Seahawks during the regular season. But they had a good game. But you know what? The Broncos Nation will be okay because we're still going to a Super Bowl again. um, and tonight I want to promote my upcoming event on October 1st, which is, I'm calling it the first of the month, Beer in a Budget with Mrs. Jones. And I actually did a venue shift. I visited the View House in DTC. So this is for all Denver locals. If you'll know where DTC is, and I absolutely love that place. So we will be having our first ever Beer in a Budget with Mrs. Jones at the View House in DTC on October 1st at 5 p.m. And to promote that great event, I am going to drink a beer tonight. Yes, me, I am drinking a beer. This is Snapshot from New Belgium Brewing Company, which is a cool little company up in Fort Collins, Colorado. I have not had the opportunity to go visit that brewery yet, but I've had a couple of their beers, and tonight I am going to try the Snapshot, which is a wheat beer. And I'm not sure if my camera will be flipped for you guys, but it is what it is. So, and it says that Snap, you know, I'll go to the website and read a little bit about Snapshot, and it says that it is an unfiltered wheat beer full of refreshment and flash of tart at the finish. Its smile-inducing aromas of citrus hops jump from the nose, accompanied by the sweetness of coriander and grains of paradise. That sounds like a really happy beer. Wow, I'm glad I chose this. I had to get Mr. Jones to take me to the store to buy a beer today for tonight's show. And just to give you a little background on my history with beer, I'm not a beer drinker. I'm not a coffee drinker, not a beer drinker. I never had vices like that. You know, never tried drugs or anything. Yes, I'm kind of lame, I guess. But over the years, I've learned I had to learn how to drink beer because Mr. Jones, he loves craft beer and he loves going to breweries, so I've had to figure out a beer that I like, and after many taste testings and tons of beers from here to Alabama, all kinds of breweries, I've settled on Belgian whites or Belgian wheat as my beer of choice, so that I won't be a social pariah when I go out in society. And I'm not sure if this is I think this is a Belgian style wheat. Like I said, I'm a brand new fresh beer connoisseur, and I'm learning as the years go. So my beer drinking only started about a year ago, and I'm learning. I'm starting to learn what I like, what I don't like, and the Belgian whites seem to be what I am really enjoying right these days. So thank you, New Belgium. Yes, I went to the local liquor store and I bought Snapshot. I will take a sip. Not too bad. Not too bad. I've had some other ones that's not too bad, but I can do with this one. This is a nice. It does taste very light and refreshing, so something I could definitely hang with. Um, and yes, you did hear me. I did try to find a beer so that when I went out in public, I could have something to sip on. So yes, I drink beer because of peer pressure. Oh well. You know, I didn't suffer from peer pressure of beer drinking in high school or in college. I think I've had like one beer while my entire college life. I only started drinking beer when I got a stressful job. Oh, and that's not a good combination. But no, after visiting a few countries and having the entire room stop when I say I don't drink beer or coffee, I figured I needed to start drinking a little bit of beer so that I can be induced by peer pressure. So there you go, beer drinking from peer pressure. That is me, Felicia. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and get started. I will be sipping my beer. And no, they are not paying me to do this. This is just one we picked up today. And this is in honor of my first event, Beer in a Budget, October 1st. If you just happen to be in the Denver area, or if you feel like driving from somewhere in Europe, please stop by. Come have a beer with me. I will have a blue little piggy bank with me, so you'll know where I'm there. I'm not, yeah. And you bring your budget or your money issues. We'll sit and talk about money. You pay for your own beer because I am on a budget. So that's what we're going to talk about, and I'll tell you more about it later. You can check out my Facebook page or my Google Plus page to get more details on the event. Excuse me, that's not cute at all. So let's get started. So let's get started with our topics for today. I have my trusty notes that don't show up on paper here because I don't remember everything, and I'm probably drinking beer. I won't need to. So, as you know, the new iPhone just released the last few days. Of course, it is bigger, better, cuter, sexier, prettier, and of course, is more expensive. Amazing. So I think it's about the same price as all the other iPhones, but this is the iPhone 6. And yes, I have an iPhone 4. It's starting to slow down, but right now I'm not really certain where I'm going to go with my phone choices. But the iPhone 6 is out there for all of you guys. And you know what? I love new toys. I love gadgets. I love a nice, sexy, new computer-ish type thing, phone, computer, tablet. I love it all, and I want you to love it all too, and I want you to have your gadgets, and I want you to have the latest and greatest because nobody wants to be in the dark ages. But I hope for all of you that were in line getting your iPhone, you waited for hours or a couple of days, I hope you were working on your budget, because it seems as though a lot of people threw a lot of caution to the wind and went out and got their new iPhones without considering their budget. And you know, we're going to talk about the true cost of having an iPhone. And of course, their lower level phones are coming out at, you know, the 16 gig is $199. The 64 gig is $299, and of course, the 128 gig is $399. So of course nobody wants to go with the cheap stuff. So we're going to go bigger. Bigger is better. Yeah. So nobody wants to be lame and get the $199. We're going to go for the big stuff. So just for the sake of this example, we will go for the $299, or probably talk about the $199 iPhone. And of course, the reason why we want a bigger phone, you know, 64 gig phone or 128 gig, come on, we have to have more apps, we need more games, and of course we need more room to take pictures of us naked in the bathroom so that they can get hacked and put on some website by somebody so they can see you naked. Because tell me if I'm wrong, most people end up taking tons of selfies, and for some reason the selfies are always in a bathroom. It doesn't matter if it's a home bathroom or a public bathroom. People like to take selfies of themselves in a bathroom and in some state of undress. So yes, you need a bigger iPhone so that you can have more of those pictures on your phone so that when you lose it, everybody can see you half naked in the bathroom. I think it's amazing. So here's the true cost of the iPhone. Over at ZDNet, they have ZDNet.com. They actually have a great article called "How Much Does an iPhone 6 Really Cost?" Hint is way more than $199. I'm not going to read the full article, and I would love for you guys to go over there and take a look at it. It's a really neat little feature because it pretty much tells you that even though you walked into the store thinking you were going to get a $199 iPhone, you have to remember that there's a $450 subsidy to get that iPhone. So if the phone, I think the real cost of an iPhone is at the 16 gig is $650 with a $450 subsidy. And you have to remember that these people are for-profit companies, and they are really not in the business of giving their money away. So they're going to figure out how to get you to give them back their money. So of course, you have this $450 subsidy, and you know the carriers are guaranteeing that they get their money back. And what they do is that they divide up this cost, but then add on more to the plans. And in the plans, your 2-year contract plan is usually more than what you paid for the phone. So over here on ZDNet, they have a great little graph when you go over and take a look at it. So depending on your carrier, and I think the carriers of iPhone right now are AT&T, Sprint, and Verizon. And of course, you know, and I know that they pay based on your data charges, your data usage, and things like that. So of course, the more data you use, the more people you add on, the more your monthly bill goes up. So after 2 years under the contract, ZDNet is saying that with AT&T, you would have spent between $560 or $800 for your $199 iPhone because you thought you were getting a good deal, whereas you really could have just paid outright for the iPhone at $650 because of the different ways they're going to charge you. So of course, the more data, the more you pay. And you know what? Maybe you were just better off just paying for that phone. And so this is why I ask you, you know, while you were sitting in line and waiting, did you really have $650 to pay for this phone? Because you will be paying $650 or more, depending on which phone you purchase, which carrier you're under, and the size of the data that you're using. So yeah, it may be that you paid $199 up front, but over time they will get their $650. And of course, when you want to upgrade, a lot of the carriers charge you money just to turn your phone in and to upgrade to the next one. They're a lot smarter than us, it seems, because they have a way of getting all their money. And most of us will break our phones within a year. We will pay for the warranty, of course. And I've never broken my phone, so I'm not sure what happens when you exchange, but I'm sure it's not the easiest thing to ever do. So just be mindful when you go out and get your new phone. It may sound like $199 is a good deal, but you are signing up for a 2-year contract, and depending on your data usage, you'll be paying more. More data means more money, and of course, this is more money that goes into the pockets of our carriers, which is not a bad thing. I'm all for making money. I love making money. I think you should make money, but just remember that this is what's happening, and you need to check your budget before you go and buy these big purchases. And I say all of this just to lead into a story about our dear friend, Mr. Darius Voldarsky. And I could be saying that wrong, but I'm going to go with Darius Voldarsky. This is an article that I found on Mashable.com. Mr. Voldarsky's wife left him after 20 years of marriage. And previously, he bought her an iPhone, and she was so happy that he figured he would try to buy her another one because his heart was so broken. And he figured that it would make her really happy if she had this brand new iPhone 6 because it's bigger and prettier and she liked the size and everything. So he waited in line for 44 hours to buy this phone. This is such a pure romantic gesture. Yes, I'm sure a lot of ladies out there would love it if you stood in line. I'm talking to you guys. If you stood in line for 44 hours just to buy them an iPhone, and of course they really would love it if you took over the contract and paid the monthly bills on it as well. That's the only way you get an iPhone, right? I mean, Mr. Jones bought me an iPhone, and luckily we were getting married, so yeah, I guess we both ended up paying for my brand new toy. Yay. But after 44 hours of this romanticness of standing in line at his local Apple store, and I know you're saying, oh, this is so sweet, but wait, there's more. Mr. Voldarsky is unemployed, and he said he realized that they could not afford the iPhone 6, but he was going to put it on his credit card and worry about it later. Mr. Voldarsky. But you know what? Hold on. I need to find my crickets for this one because I don't know what to say about Mr. Voldarsky and his love of his wife. And I like the gesture. It's absolutely amazing. But seriously, dude, you're just going to put this on your credit card and worry about it later, and you are not working. You're unemployed. And of course, the article didn't mention whether or not he was getting any type of benefits or if he was a millionaire and he had all of this, investment income coming in. But from what a quote in the article is, he says that he realized they couldn't afford it. So I'm just going to assume that he's broke. When you say you can't afford things, my instant reaction is that you are broke. And this leads me into my third article that I came across, and this is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It says 19% of unemployed Americans spent more time shopping than looking for a job. The overall percentage was that 41% of the unemployed did some kind of shopping instead of looking for a job, no matter if they shopped in a store, by phone, or on the internet. And 23% shopped for items other than food, groceries, or gas. So all of these tricky little numbers are just saying that about 20% of people who are unemployed spent more time shopping than they did looking for a job. So I'm just wondering how many of those people that waited in line for 44 hours for the brand new iPhone 6 were unemployed. And if you're like me, you're probably thinking quite a few of them may be unemployed, because who has 44 hours to sit in line at the mall or wherever the store is? But I find that a very interesting topic, and you can Google all of this stuff at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the article is the unemployed are more likely to go shopping on an average day than looking for a job, of course. And you can, of course, look at Mr. Voldarsky's article. A man waited 2 days in line for an iPhone 6 to try to win back his wife. These are very great articles. And all of this leads me up to the main topic of the night, which is debt. Debt is a four-letter word that we have slung around in America, and we either say it's good debt or bad debt without missing the key word is that it's debt. Debt pretty much means you borrowed money or you owe money to someone that you did not have to purchase something else. That is debt. And we've gotten to a crisis in the United States where a lot of people are in debt. It doesn't matter if it's student loan debt, credit card debt. A lot of people are in housing debt, but housing debt is typically on that gray line of it can work for you, it can work against you, but it depends on your risk meter and where you sit. Mr. Jones and I, we have no debt other than the mortgage on our home. at some point we know we will sell the home because we have different goals that we're trying to reach, but I will kind of leave the mortgage thing out. Now, of course, if you have home equity lines and you borrowed against your home, okay, that's a different story because now you've just tapped in and you've pulled out a second mortgage on your home. But for now, we will leave the mortgage on for another topic for another day. But outside of that, when you add mortgage debt onto credit card debt, student loan debt, owing your parents, owing your friends, the debt can get a little out of hand. And I want you to leave tonight knowing that debt is an emergency. It is a straight up emergency. And I'm telling you this because debt can ruin a lot of parts of your life. And I just have a little short list of things that debt can do to hurt you. So debt is a dream killer. It really is a dream killer. I mean, you go to work. I mean, if you were, I suffered from this for years where you just go to work, you don't like it, but you got all these bills and your bills are all debt. So you can't just quit because you got to pay your bills because you did borrow the money. So all of these things of quitting your job, traveling the world, starting your business, they all get put on hold when you have debt because debt is a dream killer if you don't have a plan to get rid of it. Debt is a retirement killer. I have 30 plus more years before I hit retirement, but this is a pretty big thing among retirees and those who are entering into retirement. They are going into retirement with a lot of debt. And that is very, very, very dangerous when you are paying off that much debt with very little retirement money. You have to be very careful. So, because debt can just ruin or wipe out or change your retirement. Because I've met a lot of people who are saying now, I have to wait until I'm 70 or 75 to stop working. Wow, it's probably a job that you really don't care for. Do you really want to work until you're 75 doing it? And here's the big one: debt is a vacation killer. Yeah, it's a two-way vacation killer. It can kill vacations in that you don't have money to go on a vacation, but it can also be on the back end when you do go on a vacation and you charge your credit card so much and you get home and you regret every bit of going on that vacation. So debt can kill your vacation. And on to more serious things, debt can ruin marriages. They say the majority of divorces are over money. And it's either handling of money, and more than likely is from debt. And forgive me for not having a statistic on that, but I will have one soon. But we all know the common reason for a lot of fights, arguments, issues, angry text messages, people throwing things at people's walls is usually around money. And debt just adds another stress onto it. So you have to be careful when you have debt. And this new phenomenon is that debt keeps college grads from becoming adults. I mean, how many of you know college graduates who come out of school with $70,000 to $100,000 in debt, but they can't find the job that they were guaranteed they were supposed to have, so they have to live at home for the next 5 years. They have to still drive their same car from high school or from college, and they are delaying adulthood, which on some ends kind of hurts the economy because, these are not people who are rushing out to get married. They're not buying houses. They're not having babies. It's like a domino effect, but, it does kind of hurt you from jumping right into adulthood, and nobody wants to be 30 years old still living with their parents. I mean, I understand. Yeah, it's not cool. Debt hurts family planning. Oh, gosh, you thought you were going to have 5 babies, but you got $300,000 in debt? That family planning may be kicked off onto the side for a while. Debt makes you sick. It makes you sick. It makes you stressed out. It makes you miss work. It makes you sad. It makes your hair fall out. It makes hair grow in places where you don't want it to grow. It just does all kinds of bad things to you. And debt also is a dating deal breaker. There's a new phenomenon. I'm not dating because I'm married, and that would be kind of messed up if I was dating while I'm married, but whatever. A lot of people are not dating people because they have debt. It's like it's a deal breaker. You go on your first date. Hi, what's your name? Where you from? What do you do? I like you. You're cute. You have debt. It's over. And that's a very interesting way to date when you're trying to go straight for somebody's money. But you know what? That could be delaying you meeting the person of your dreams, or the person that you will be standing in line for 44 hours to buy an iPhone 6. And I want to let you know that with all of this little short list of what debt can do, debt is not normal. For some reason, we've gotten to the point where we think debt is normal. Student loans is good debt. Having a mortgage is good debt. Being able to buy the car of your dreams, that's not bad debt, but you know what? It makes you look better. Being able to go on vacations on credit cards, it's not bad. Just pay it off. Just keep working. And you end up in this cycle where you just keep going, 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 and you keep digging a hole with your money, and you don't realize that you have just purchased your way into slavery. Yes, slavery is a very strong word, but you are now a slave to all of your lenders. You are a slave to your job because you need the money to pay off these people. And just imagine if you didn't have debt. I'm sure you've watched these TV shows where people say, well, I quit my job to go buy a house in Bermuda, or to go live in Jamaica, or to walk around Vietnam backpacking. And the thing that happens with a lot of these people is that they don't have debt, so they don't have a burden. Yeah, they're probably thinking about how am I going to eat the next day, but we're smart people. You can figure out how to get some food. But the one thing they don't have is that burden of debt. Debt is such an extreme burden that you really should get rid of it. And if you are not careful, debt will ruin your life. It will ruin your life. I mean, just to think, if you're just a regular guy, you're going to work every day, you had $80,000 in student loan debt, your wife had $200,000, you decide to buy a house, it's $400,000, you both have two cars that you're financing, and you have the credit card debt, and one day you realize you're almost $800,000 in debt and no plan to pay off the debt, because you've been told that this is normal. This is normal middle class, upper middle class life, because you don't want to miss out on the iPhones, the new computers, or the new cars, but you also realize you don't have a plan to ever get out of this, because you may wake up one day and realize you hate your job. And that's one of the beauty of me really wanting to help you with your budget. And like I said, you can always send me your budget. I will gladly help you. Is that Mr. Jones and I, we cleared up a lot of our debt, and we also got to a point where we started saving. We started saving about 50% of our income, and it was just amazing to know that our money wasn't going to other people. It could just go to us, and it allows us to be able to do things like consider early retirement or leaving jobs, which, I will be leaving my job here in it's the 21st, so I will be leaving my job in 9 days. And I have been kind of sad in my job, and I never realized that I had a way out if I hadn't dug myself in a hole with credit card debt or just living paycheck to paycheck. I could have had the money to leave and to explore different careers a long time ago. But I am blessed, and we worked really, really hard to get to the point where I can consider walking away for a job for about a year to explore different careers or to start a brand new life. And I really want you to be able to do that with your money. If you are stuck in a job you don't like, you're in a situation you don't care for, you have to get rid of this debt, because it is a burden and it's keeping you stuck. And when you realize that you have a plan to get rid of that, you will start to think a little bit more clearly about where you want to go, where you want to be, or if you want to just switch up and change your life for the better. And you really have to get rid of debt if you want to do that. So I'm going to go straight into the 3 and 3. This is your 3 money tips in 3 minutes. And The topic is how to conquer your debt. And my clock is starting right now. So how to conquer your debt, step number 1, know what you're working with. You have to absolutely know what you're working with. You have to go and grab everything that you think you owe so that you can turn it into, this is what I do owe. You need to list out every bill, every debt repayment that you have, because you need to understand the amount of your debt. And I'm sorry, having an idea or I have a good idea of what I owe. No, you need to put it on a list and you need to know exactly. And I've worked with some coaching clients that had no clue the amount of debt they had. And up to this point, we're averaging, most people that I've worked with on one-on-one coaching have an average of about $100,000 in debt. It's crazy. And number 2, you find a debt repayment calculator. Go out on the Google it, and put in debt repayment calculator. You're going to get tons of them. Bankrate has some of your local banks have them. Put in your total amount of debt, average up the interest payments that you're paying, because you are paying a lot of interest if you have a lot of debt. Put it in there and look at how long it would take you to pay off this stuff, and look at how much you're paying right now. You'll be surprised that, you know, sometimes it may say it's 15 or 20 years. Okay, I understand that's it's extreme, but that also means now you need to go back and look at your income, look at your expenses, and start eliminating and start adding income, eliminating expenses, and toss it at the debt, so that you can go from having to pay off your debt in 10 years down to 2. You have to be laser focused to pay it off, because yes, it's just like when you were in school and you got that 1 D on your report card and it dropped your GPA, and now you got to work 10 times harder until graduation just to get your GPA back up to the 3.5 level. So that's where you are. Right now, your GPA has just been knocked, and you got to work 10 times harder to dig yourself back up to be on the stage near the valedictorians or something. And number 3, get off your butt and do something about this. Seriously, get off your butt and get an action plan. So list your debt, figure out how long it's going to take, and then get an action plan. Nobody else is going to do this for you. This is your money. This is your problem. And from all of the beer drinking, vacations, clothes, fancy cars, you made this yourself. Yes, let's bar out any tragic events, any extreme medical bills. I understand that stuff happens, but a majority of us, let's be real, a lot of this stuff comes from us just being straight up silly with our money. And yes, I was the queen of silly. I did silly stuff with my money, so I understand. I've been there. And especially for you 6-figure income earners, because there's quite a few of you out there that are making 80,000 or 100,000+ into the 6-figure range. Shame on you, because this is your money. You shouldn't have to be dealing with this. You need to get a grip on this and get off your butt and get a plan, because if you don't take care of this, this will haunt you into your marriage, and it will screw up your marriage. It will haunt you when you start having kids, and your kids will start to think that this is normal, and then you will hit retirement, and then you will be broke. Yes, you put money in your retirement income, but guess what? You have just as much debt that's sitting in your retirement account. And what kind of retirement are you going to have? You're going to be the person who's going to be working until you're 80 years old trying to keep your job so that you can keep paying for debt. You were not put on this planet to keep paying other people, to give people your money. Your money is fun. It is yours. You're supposed to be doing fun things with it, and fun things does not mean giving it to someone else so that you can be attached to them for the rest of your life. So people, seriously, get a plan. Stop being so damn broke and start living your life, because this debt is going to be a burden on you. Okay, so I'm off my soapbox. I'm going to have some beer now. Hold on. This is my wheat beer. Yay. But outside of that, this really is your money, and you really need to have a plan. And if you are lost and you're stuck, you can always send information to me. Send me your send me your budget if you need help. You can send it to info@keepupwithmrsjones.com. If you don't have a budget and you watch this and say, well, Felicia, I really need some help because my stuff is screwed up. Just shoot me an email and say, you know, I really need some help. I can get you started on a budget. It really is that simple. And yes, I am a financial lifestyle coach, which is a money coach, and I do have one-on-one coaching practices for people that really want to get uh, deep and dirty with their money and to start changing their relationship with money. But you don't have to do that. This is my life's calling right here, is to help you. So of course, yeah, you know, hell yeah, I want to make money. You know, I'm just like any other person, and I would love for you to come into one of my coaching programs. But just to get you started, send me an email, free of charge, if you need help with your budget. I've been there. I've been silly with my money. I was a six-figure income earner, and I had nothing to show for it, you know. And it's kind of upsetting knowing that you probably wasted a lot of money. And this is going to be a future topic, but we will go over the regret, the things you regret not having done with your money, especially as you get older and you realize, or at least for me, I realized that time has started to become more important. And I realized that time is money, and I threw away a lot of money, so I sold a lot of my time, and I'm trying to gain that back now. But seriously, if you need help, send me an email. You can find me on Twitter. Here's my Twitter address. Just shoot me a little thing that says, hey, I need some help. Send me a copy of your budget, or just say, hey, I don't even know where to get started with a budget. I am a master budgetologist. I will gladly help you. That's what I'm here to do. And of course, I want to end the show with dumb fun money. You know, and I'm trying this out just so that we can lighten up the mood. I don't want to be doom and gloom because I'm all about having fun. I want you to have your beer. I want you to have your new iPhone 6. I want you to have fun because, you know, that's our human nature. We're here to have fun. So we're going to lighten up the mood, and we're going to talk about dumb fun money. And of course, I would love for you to participate. So if you can, send me a tweet, tweet me at Keep Up with Mrs. Jones, and tell me your dumb fun money story. You can also find me on Google Plus under Keep Up with Mrs. Jones, and the same on Facebook, Keep Up with Mrs. Jones. Or you can holler at me over at keepupwithmrsjones.com. I'm very consistent, as you can see. But I would love to hear your dumb fun money story. And here are the rules of the dumb fun money story. The dumbest thing you ever did with your money, and how much fun you had doing it. And I got a tweet in from UI Freeman on Twitter, and he says he has a MacBook, a HP printer, a smart TV, and other fun, he put it in quotes, fun toys. And he says, let's just say now, fun doesn't cost as much and it doesn't plug in. And I'm assuming that with a smart TV and a MacBook, which I have, they're not the cheapest things in the world, yeah, they can, when you start going broke, they aren't that much fun, especially when you didn't pay cash for them. And having, you know, financing laptops and TVs and fun toys, yeah, toys get old after a while. You ever notice that when you give a kid a toy, or when you were a kid, and they play with it for a couple of months, and then, yeah, it just goes into the closet with all other toys? Yeah, sometimes that's how our iPhones, our Xboxes, our PlayStations end up like that. But at that exact moment when we just couldn't wait to get it, we spent all of our money, and now fun isn't as fun anymore. And let's see, I'm trying to think of a dumb fun money story that I have. So I've done quite a few dumb things, and you know what, I actually was thinking about all of the dumb things that I've done with money, and there was one time when I was in college, I think it was about my senior year in college, I had a car, and I had an apartment off campus, and I was in a little fender bender, and it wasn't my fault, somebody ran into me. So it was a little minor thing on the car, And of course, we went through all of the paperwork. For whatever reason, the person didn't want to file an insurance claim. So, I was probably about 21 and really didn't know any better. And I said, okay. So we worked it all out, and I eventually, they wrote me a check. I had to go get estimates for the fix, and we averaged it out, and they gave me a check. And it was about $1,400. It's around $1,400 or so to go get the bumper fixed on my car. So, of course, me being 21 years old in college, and I was really, really broke. What did I do? I went shopping. Yes, I went shopping. I have no idea what I purchased. I have no idea what I bought. It was a long time ago, so who really knows? All I know is that the bumper did not get fixed on my car. And that bumper stayed that way for a very, very long time. I think eventually it got fixed because I did something else to it. I have this affliction for running into poles. I don't know why. I don't hit cars. I don't hit people. But inanimate objects that are just like in a parking lot, seems to be my thing. But yeah, so that was my dumb fun money. I didn't get my car fixed, and I went shopping with about $1,400. I'm sure I bought some clothes and some dumb stuff. Of course, I had a boyfriend at the time, so who knows? We probably blew it on something. But you know what? You live and you learn, and money is a great learner of us all. So I want you to remember that, keep it light, keep it fun, but also get a plan, and I want you to start living the life you deserve. Don't be in debt. Stop being broke. You are in, if you're here, if you're watching me and you're in the United States, you're in a great country, and we are afforded a lot of opportunities that a lot of people aren't, and we should remember that and not take advantage of it too much. Go and enjoy your life, give back, help out others, but start having fun with your money. Get a plan, get out of debt. And if you're among the people, the thousands of people who stood in line for 44 hours, I hope you had time during that 44 hours to work on your budget. And if you're still in line like some other people are on a wait list, work on your budget and just send something to me so I can let you know if you really should get a new iPhone 6. But other than that, I want you guys to have a great night. And remember, if you are in the Denver area on October 1st at 5 p.m. at the View House Restaurant, check me out. Bring your budget issues, bring your money issues, ask me any question. I have a research background. I love talking about money, and I love investing. So bring any question you have about your money, and we'll chat with it over a beer. A beer. Yay. We'll chat about your money problems or your money successes over a beer. October 1st, 5 p.m. View House. And of course, if you have any issues with your budgets or if you have questions to me, just shoot me an email at info@keepupwithmrsjones.com. Of course, I am on Google+, Facebook. You could check out my blog, and that's about it. So I want to wish you guys a good night. I know this is about that time, so stop stressing. Go to bed. Have good dreams because tomorrow is Monday. And I want you to remember, be bold, be brave, and start living your ultimate lifestyle. You guys have a good night. Bye.